Ever feel like you're walking on eggshells at work, trying to make everything perfect for your boss? I've been there. My old boss, let's call him Alex, was a classic narcissist. Everything revolved around him. His moods dictated the office atmosphere. One minute, he'd praise my work to the high heavens, making me feel like a star employee. The next, he'd tear it apart for a tiny, insignificant detail, making me feel worthless. This roller coaster was my daily reality. I thought the solution was to be perfect. If I could just create flawless reports, anticipate his every need, and never make a single mistake, then maybe, just maybe, I'd finally earn his consistent approval and the office would be a peaceful place. So I fell into the trap of perfectionism. I'd stay late, rereading emails a dozen times before hitting send. I'd triple-check every number on a spreadsheet, terrified of a typo. I'd lose sleep, replaying conversations in my head, wondering if I'd said the right thing. My work became my entire life. I was producing high-quality stuff, no doubt about it. But here's the thing about a narcissistic boss. Your perfection is not for you. It's for them. My success became his success. He'd present my meticulously crafted work as his own, taking all the credit. And when something wasn't perfect, that was all on me. The blame was instant and harsh. I remember one specific project. It was a major presentation for a potential new client. I worked on it for weeks, sacrificing weekends and evenings. I was so proud of it. It was, in my mind, perfect. I presented it to Alex, expecting that rare moment of genuine praise. Instead, he found one slide where the company logo was a few pixels off-center. That's it. That became the entire focus. He ignored the 99% that was brilliant and fixated on the one tiny flaw. He called my attention to detail sloppy in a team meeting. I was devastated. All that effort, all that sacrifice, dismissed over something so trivial. It was a soul-crushing moment. I felt like a complete failure. That's when I had my breakthrough. It wasn't a sudden epiphany, but a slow, dawning realization. My perfectionism wasn't protecting me. It was feeding his narcissism. My tireless efforts to create flawless work were just giving him more ammunition. He thrived on finding that one small imperfection to assert his superiority and control. My striving for perfection was a game I could never win, because he was the one who kept changing the rules. My goal was excellence. His goal was power. And my desperate need to be perfect was the tool he used to keep me feeling insecure and dependent on his validation. So I decided to change my strategy. I didn't start doing bad work. Not at all. That's not the point. The point is, I let go of the obsession with perfection. I started focusing on good enough. I delivered high-quality work that met all the requirements, but I stopped killing myself over the tiny details that only I and he would notice. I started setting boundaries. I stopped replying to emails at 10 o'clock at night. I started taking my lunch breaks. Instead of pouring all my energy into making my work flawless, I focused on making it solid and effective. And I did it within my working hours. The change in his reaction was immediate and telling. When my work was simply very good instead of perfect, it gave him less to feed on. If he pointed out a minor area for improvement, I'd calmly say, "Thanks for the feedback." I'll note that for next time, instead of crumbling with anxiety, I took the emotion out of it. My work was no longer a reflection of my success. It was a task I completed. By detaching my identity from the need to be perfect, I took away his power. He could no longer use my work to manipulate my emotions. He could still be critical, but it didn't sting in the same way. It was just noise. This shift was liberating. I started to regain my confidence. I realized my value wasn't determined by his ever-changing standards. By embracing good enough, I wasn't being lazy. I was being strategic. I was protecting my energy, my mental health, and my sense of self. It allowed me to see the situation for what it was, a toxic dynamic that had nothing to do with my actual competence. Letting go of perfectionism didn't fix my boss, but it fixed how I handled him. It was my shield. It gave me the clarity and strength to eventually find a new job, one where my hard work is appreciated and good enough is celebrated as great.